a moment to get it fired up, but I had to put some gas in it that I brought. But it's alive. Quick little walk around on this mini skid with stand on that I got at auction yesterday, and they're noted as a 43-inch bucket. Just took measurements and it's just slightly over 43 if you go to the outside edge. Do note that on this one, on the cutting edge, has single holes on the bucket. Some have 2 holes, you know, for mounting teeth. So if you figure out the tooth profile to order, probably get those and drill it and add teeth if you want teeth. It does have the quick release bucket set up there, and it does have the quick attach for the accessories, and I forget what they call the third valve, like a bleed off valve, so it just recirculates there. All the pins have the keyway bolt on them. It says AGD-460. The AGD Industrial looks a lot like AGT Industrial's logos, but overall the machine, if you look at it, the AGT, let's see, not the KTT-23, the LRT-23 is pretty much identical machine. The JRQ-400s, very similar, little different hood design on them, and the side plates have like a different, like they come across and do a rounded and concave profile, and they have a rounded off step, which might be better if you're backing in close to a wall, a corner, something there. This is a rather large stand-on plate, which has its advantages. Has the 739 Rado motor like the other ones do. Not a lot of differences. That's why I marked certain ones on my list that I liked. Now the AGT KTT 23s, those show, I think it's a 38-inch bucket, and it looks like it's about the same as the track width overall, because if you look at them in pictures, the tracks go underneath. It's that side plate stops, so these are narrower underneath. It has a narrower center chassis area, so they're probably about 38 wide overall. I'm taking some measurements on this one right now. The bucket is basically about 17 inches deep, but overall, if I go all the way to the end of the stand-on driver's plate here at 91 inches, now with that folded up, it's even with the end of those white tabs right there, so that puts us at about 78 inches, which is something I needed to know ahead of time, but really couldn't, so I guessed, because this has to fit in a Connex box with some other stuff, and I couldn't find that info online. And look at the height of this machine, they're all pretty much the same when they're in this category. Let's see if I can manipulate this tape measure. I have to pause this. Okay, the height of it measures out to 49 inches right at the tip of those controls. They're small. And then I'll insert some pictures of the weight on this one. Here it's in kilograms. I have it converted for this one and for a few others. You know, these aren't super heavy duty machines, but it should work well for what I need in the yard. There's definitely some people I've learned a lot from. If I have to note it in the description, I don't miss anybody, but Garage Connection, that guy, he's put pretty much everything you need to know about these on his site for these and the small Chinese excavators for hose sizes, and he actually sells different accessories also and upgrades. He just explains the pumps and maintenance and lots of things there. JBros, they do a good job on their stuff too. When it comes to Mini X's, Papa's Junk, I'm not sure which it is. That guy just makes his own modifications. He makes some pretty cool stuff if you're into making your own accessories. There's, let's see, between the Shark's garage. He's got one of the Mac Pros, and he talks about like the teeth on the bucket and a few things on his machine. And who else here? I'm just drawing a blank. But yeah, she was a little hard starting. The throttle linkage isn't the greatest. I could tell that that throttle controller up there maybe has a weird angle to how the leverage point is on it. I have to check that out. But the linkage on the machine's motor had free movement. I had to manually go in and kind of run that up while I was working the lever. Otherwise it felt like that lever was just pulling the cable way too hard, but it actually wasn't even opening the throttle much to get this thing started. Yeah, I just wanted to cover the measurements and dimensions on this thing primarily. I figured that based on that bucket of 43, 44, somewhere there, like a lot of them list, and looking at pictures, it looked like it was pretty much identical to the track width on the overall size of the machine. So it should fit where I need it to fit for storage. And I will add more to this if I need to, or if there's any questions, please ask. Totally happy to check things and give somebody a reply, let them know anything that'll help them out. That's it for now. Bye. Well, I definitely have a lot to go over on this machine. Everybody says check all the bolts, you know, dump all your fluids out, change those, etc. It was a little tough to start at the auction site, as I think I maybe mentioned the way the cable is on the carburetor. It actually moved pretty well there, but by the time it gets up here, this was very stiff. So I'm gonna look at maybe making an adjustment, change routing, do something to make that more fluid between the two ends. Real quick, I wanted to show this little latch system right here. Other people have shown it. It's just a push button and then twist it to undo the bottom. But let's see, getting it out of frame there. This here, plastic, people breaking them. So just once you pivot it, don't lift it by that. Lift it, you know, by the actual engine hood part right there. Snap her back in place. I took some measurements of this for the quick release bucket system here, so hopefully I got those fairly accurate. It's hard to tell when it's up underneath the lip of the bucket because I didn't disconnect there, but hopefully the measurements will help somebody decide if this is somewhat universal. I don't know for sure. I don't have any other accessories or knowledge of them for fitment. But I'll work on getting that figured out, and I'll keep watching all these other videos and see if there's anything I need to cover that maybe somebody else missed, or I'll make a suggestion to them and they'll cover it as I learn things. Learned a lot on my QH12 mini digger, a lot on the den fittings. Still learning some stuff, trying to make my own hydraulic thumb set up for that. So I got my ram finally, figuring out those fittings, and then I got to order some hoses and then make my mount for it. Use the stock thumb that came on it instead of buying the whole complete setup. Maybe save $100, but it is a lot of work, a lot of effort. And hopefully I don't have to do too much modification on this thing. just clean it up. Just got the oddball paint. They threw a different orange on this Ram. Obviously this whole thing had been painted white at some point in time. I think that's why, well, no, I think a lot of these the Rams are black on like the JQ400s, but whatever orange they used on the Rams is definitely different. But that's okay. I'm a KTM guy. I like orange. My QH12 was orange. This little piece of junk is not orange. It's going to be red. My grandson's favorite color. Another little project to do. So, like I said before, any questions, let me know. I'll check it out. Anything you think is critical on this thing that I need to check, please let me know. I don't want to mess something up because I missed it. So, all right. Thanks for watching.